Hi, One Star Point community. My name is Matt Mariglia, and I'm the technology integrator here, and we're taking you through another Tips of the Week video to help the One Star Point community with technologies their children are using. This week's message is going to be 5 ways to improve your home Wi-Fi, and they have to do with rebooting, your speed, location, something called bands. No, this isn't music, unfortunately, and control. So we're going to get right to it. This presentation will be available to you after this is over on the site, so you can look back at this to recheck maybe some things that'll help improve your home Wi-Fi. So let's get started. I'll move myself out of the way, and we are going to talk about rebooting. A simple way of saying rebooting is turning your modem and router off and on again. By doing that, sometimes we reset our modems and our routers to make things run better. But I'm not going to assume anything here, so I'm going to do a little teaching right here on the types of internet services you might have in your house. These are the basic one or two ways that people have them. Most of us probably got a modem or a router combo that we got from let's say Spectrum, and that has our Wi-Fi in our house. We might even have a MiFi connected to that the school gave us to kind of boost the internet settings or internet in our homes. Some of us who want more control over our settings have a modem and router separate, which means 2 boxes, and I have a picture of what that looks like. You might have a modem that brings the internet into your house, and then a router that has maybe some antennas. It could be all white, look like a Google Nest router that sends out the signal through your home. The modem is the thing that brings the internet into your house, and the router is the thing that routes the Wi-Fi out. Some internet companies have combined them into one thing. But back to my rebooting, turning them on and off again can really help reset your Wi-Fi if you're having an issue. Let's look at number 2, speed. I have some personal experience with speed, as I have had an issue with it in my home in the past and found out that what I was supposed to be getting, I was not getting. I used something that the IT staff here at StarPoint gave to me, and there's a bunch of them online. This is linked here that you can click on later. It's an internet speed test where you can test if you're getting the number that you're supposed to be getting. And whatever your package is that you are buying from your internet company, you should be getting the number that they're advertising or close to that. Now this one advertises up to 100 megabits per second. I wasn't even close to that. I was getting like 25 or 30, and I thought I was paying for something that I wasn't getting, and the company helped me change that, and I got the speed that I should be getting. Your speeds when you test your internet will be download speeds, the internet coming from the outside to your device, and your upload speeds, what you have from your device. Maybe you're putting up on a website or you're putting work up into Google Classroom. It's from your device to the outside, the internet. And most companies advertise a download speed or a limit for both numbers, which you can see in this advertisement right here. And again, if it doesn't match the speed you're supposed to be getting, call your internet provider and demand that you get what you pay for. They'll probably give you a credit on your bill as well. Location, I put this as number 3, but if I had to pick one that's the most important, it's probably this one. This is something you can do very easily to change your speed of your wireless connection, especially from Chromebooks to your router. And you can see just in this simple diagram where you put your router can really hurt or help the kind of signal that you're getting. I see lots of people putting routers in their basement, and it really slows everything down. They say the best thing to do in a 2-story house is nearest to the first floor ceiling. So if you're living in a ranch style home, that's the best place for it. If you're in a 3 or 4 story home, you might want to find a place that's centralized to do it. And yes, obstacles can slow performance. Cordless phones, if you have them, microwaves, metal. I found out that there were some things in my plaster at home that slowed down performance. So it's just a trial and error putting your Wi-Fi router in the place where you can best connect. The other thing I can tell you too about location, keep it ventilated. Don't jam it into a corner or up against a wall where the slots on the back of it can't breathe. It needs to cool it down, and if the router gets too hot, it will slow it down quite a bit. Bands, another not well understood, including yours truly here, part of your internet. Sometimes if you're trying to connect a mobile device to your Wi-Fi router, you might see that you have a choice between a 2.4 gigahertz band and a 5 gigahertz band. A 5 gigahertz band is much stronger, as you can tell, but it doesn't go as far. So you might be choosing 5 gigahertz, but you're maybe outside, and you're like, wow, it's really not carrying very far. 2.4 is much more reliable for larger distances, but it can have issues with obstacles, bouncing off things inside your home. And take a look at this diagram over here. You want to put the correct device on the right band if you have a choice. And specific bands do things better. Obviously for gaming, 5 gigahertz is a better band because it can travel back and forth through the internet can travel back and forth much quicker. But for just doing simple web browsing, 2.4 should be fine. Chromebooks work fine on 2.4 unless kids are gaming or doing a lot of tasks at the same time. So let's take a look at the last one, control. This is probably one that most people are most concerned about, especially if their kids have devices, younger children. It's your internet that's coming into your house. You can control it. This depends on your service provider and your internet router. Most routers that you get do have parental controls that are built in. So if you're not sure and you don't have the manual for that router, or if you have a router modem combo from your internet provider, call them and say, how do I can control the internet in my house with parental controls? I have a Google Nest myself, and I can control the internet in my house pretty simply, and a lot of them come with instructions on how to do that. You can limit who connects and when. You can set up guest networks so people that come into your house aren't using the same network as your children or you. And you can set up controls to restrict what your children can see on the internet. You can block individual sites. Let's say you're having a problem with your child using YouTube too much. You can block YouTube after a certain time if you want. Here's just a simple screen for a sample internet, and you can see you have family Wi-Fi. You can schedule a pause. You can group your devices so you can turn them on and off at the same time. You can restrict access to kids' devices. You can schedule pauses in, maybe late at night when the kids are supposed to be sleeping. Most internet providers have some of these controls, and most modem/routers that come from those companies have them as well. If you purchase your own router, you'll have a lot more control over that, and they'll have instructions on how to set those things up. Now, this list is not an end-all be-all for everything that you might need, so I have a few other resources here. I didn't want to make it an hour video. I wanted to keep it kind of under 5 minutes if I could. So you can take a look at these things here, how to boost your Wi-Fi performance. I got some information from there. If you're looking for a new router, here's some best budget ones. Here's the actual Wi-Fi that I have in my home. It works pretty well, and I can really get coverage across my whole home. And here's how to use your router's parental controls. A very general article, kind of teaches you how to get into your router settings and change them so that you can help control the internet for your children. All right, lastly, again, this is a tips of the week video. If you have other questions or concerns and you have suggestions, click on that link to the presentation that'll be on the page next to this video and leave a suggestion maybe of something that the integrator or the IT staff can make a video about to help you in the future. All right, One Star Point community, hope everybody's safe and well, and hope this video on how to make your Wi-Fi settings get a little better helped you. So long.